told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way.
BTS's Jungkook, when the world can't stop staring, the most handsome and influential man, now a global media target. If you thought Jungkook was big enough before, wait until you see what's happening now. Because the world, literally the entire world, is talking about this one name. Not just ARMY, not just K-pop fans. International media outlets, world-class fashion houses, giant streaming platforms, and even journalists who have never even written a word about K-pop are now all turning their cameras and pens to the one figure who has long been destined to stand at the top, Jungkook. Amidst the excitement of the Arirang World Tour 2026, which is shaking up the global music scene, Jungkook's name has exploded once again, not just as a member of BTS, but as a phenomenon in his own right. He has been named the most handsome and most influential man in the group that has long dominated the global music industry. And the reaction that followed? No one could have predicted how big the wave would be. This isn't just another entertainment news story. This is a moment that will go down in the history of the K-pop industry and global pop culture. Jungkook is not a new name. He's been in the industry since 2013, debuting with BTS at the tender age of 15 as the group's youngest member, or maknae. But who would have thought that the boy who seemed nervous on his debut stage would grow into one of the most respected names in contemporary music history? That journey of more than a decade is no ordinary one. It's the journey of an artist who relentlessly hones himself, refusing to stop growing, and choosing to prove himself not with words, but with his work. When BTS announced their extended hiatus due to military service, the world held its breath. Armies across the globe waited patiently, eagerly, and often in tears. But as each member of BTS completed their military service and returned to the entertainment world, something different shone through Jungkook. He didn't return as the same artist. He returned as the best version of himself, more mature, sharper, deeper as an artist, and visually more stunning than ever. It didn't take long for the media to catch on. Jungkook's crowning as the most handsome man in BTS was no accident. This is the result of a long accumulation, years of building his unique visual identity, one that defies easy categorization. He's not just handsome in the conventional sense. He's a rare blend of powerful good looks and a warm, approachable vibe. His smile, often dubbed a bunny smile by his fans, doesn't just melt the hearts of armies. It melts the hearts of anyone who sees it, even those who know nothing about K-pop. International polling sites that track the popularity of global public figures consistently rank Jungkook at the top. Even in prestigious visual competitions involving dozens of the best K-pop idols, Jungkook's name always comes up in a significant position. The combination of his strong facial features, a defined jawline, deep-set eyes, an expression that can shift from sweet to intense in a matter of seconds, and his athletic physique, the result of years of training, makes him a figure that's hard to ignore. Calvin Klein has proven this. When Jungkook appeared in the brand's global campaign, the internet literally exploded. It's not an exaggeration. It's a fact you can check for yourself in the media archives. But good looks alone aren't enough to sway the global media. What sets Jungkook apart, and what makes his crowning as BTS's most influential member so powerful and relevant, is the combination of that visual appeal with undeniable artistic substance. When we talk about Jungkook's influence within BTS, we need to honestly understand the context. BTS is a group of 7 extraordinary members. Each has their own strengths and identities. RM is the intellectual brain of the group, a thinker and leader whose words are often quoted in academic forums. Jin is a figure who warms with his humor and sincerity. Suga is a producer and lyricist whose work transcends genre boundaries. J-Hope is unwavering energy and creativity. Jimin is the grace that blends advanced dance technique with a flood of emotion. V is art itself, an aura, a voice, and an aesthetic that constitute a language unto itself. And Jungkook? Jungkook is the synthesis of all of that, packaged in the most accessible package for a global audience. Meanwhile, the global media wasn't moving for nothing. When major outlets began covering Jungkook with increasing intensity, It was because there was something tangible they could capture and convey to their readers and viewers. It wasn't just a story about a handsome K-pop idol. It was a story about an artist who had proven that the boundaries between Asian and Western music were no longer there, and he was one of the few people most responsible for breaking down those boundaries. When his solo songs broke into international charts and remained there not just for days but for weeks, the Western music industry had no choice but to acknowledge his existence. When global luxury fashion brands scrambled to sign him as the face of their campaigns, the fashion world took notice. And when his streaming numbers continued to grow at a rate that would make data analysts shake their heads, digital platforms began to pay special attention. All of this created a massive ecosystem of attention, and at its center, Jungkook stood calmly, as if he had envisioned this all along. What's fascinating about the global coverage of Jungkook right now isn't just the sheer volume, but the diversity of sources covering him. It's not just media outlets that typically cover K-pop or Asian culture. Rolling Stone wrote about him. Billboard provided in-depth analyses of his solo impact on the industry. International fashion outlets discussed his aesthetic. Pop culture podcasts that never mentioned K-pop suddenly dedicated segments to this phenomenon known as Jungkook. It's a clear indicator. Jungkook has transcended the category of K-pop idol. He now stands in a much broader category, a global cultural figure whose relevance transcends genre, language, and geography. And what's most impressive, he seems unbothered by all the attention. In his interviews, in his interactions with fans, and in his performances on stage, Jungkook remains the same person, passionate, humble, serious about his art, and always striving to give his best. These qualities are what make people not only admire him, but also believe in him as an artist. Within BTS itself, the dynamic between the members has always been one of the things that makes the group so beloved. They're not just colleagues. They're brothers who've grown together for over a decade. And within that dynamic, Jungkook's role as Magne, who has now become one of the group's strongest pillars, feels organic and uncontrived. Senior members like RM, Jin, and Suga often express their pride in Jungkook's growth. And Jungkook himself never claims more than he has. He always gives credit to his teammates, to the producers he works with, and to the army who have never stopped supporting him. That humility isn't a PR strategy. It's character. And it's character that makes his influence feel far deeper than mere popularity numbers. What will happen next? No one can predict with certainty. But one thing we can say with certainty is this. The momentum Jungkook is building now, as the face of BTS in the eyes of global media, as an artist with cross-cultural influence, and as a visually and artistically unmatched figure who is easily sought after, is a momentum that will continue to grow. The world has turned its back, and the world won't look away easily. Jungkook, the Magne from Busan who debuted at 15 with nervous steps on a small stage, is now standing on the biggest stadium stages in the world, and global media are scrambling to be the first to tell the world his story. For ARMY, who have known for a long time, this isn't a surprise. It's an inevitability that has finally arrived. And for the world just now learning his name, welcome. You've just discovered one of the most important artists of this generation.
Your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away.